We're there! Yay! Is everybody excited to be here?
Yes.
Come on, a little bit better than that.
Yes.
All right, I certainly am glad to be here. And like I said, we had a lot of moving parts this morning, but I think we got them. And we're here. So that's what counts. So since it's been so long, we should just do quick intros. And thank you everybody that's watching on YouTube and Zoom. So we'll start off, Mel, just hello, say hi.
Hi, I'm Mel.
All right. Bonnie, training coordinator. So you guys might not have ever met Bonnie. All right.
Christina Parsons, I'm going to be the new manager for the next office office.
Nice, thank you. Go ahead.
Melissa Levin.
Nice.
Amanda.
Julie Stellick.
Gloria Franco.
Jared Lalonde.
Lisa Larid.
Diane Myers. Georgia Aaron.
Quick, that's nice.
Jared Prince.
Hi, Garrett.
Kevin McDonald.
Hi.
Phil Bullitt.
Hi.
All right, hey. I'm Randy Carter with Move Mortgage. Mark Fulton with the Mortgage.
I'm Greg. Nice to see you guys. Are we good? Is it the stream look good?
Yep,
Okay.
amazing.
Wow, okay. So one more thing I have to do, I think, to make this thing work. Craig. Welcome back. We're finally live again. So this is our third meeting of the week. The first meeting was in Sacramento. We had some trouble. And the second meeting yesterday went great, but everybody was super excited, right? And so this meeting is going to be great, right? So we're going to get going. We got a lot of stuff to get through. We're going to get you out of here as quick as we can. That's my value proposition. Give me an hour a month, right? That's all I'm asking. Give me an hour a month. We're going to get you some good information, some good education, a market update, something that you can use in your business today. Good?
Yeah.
So thank you guys for being here. For those of you that have never been here before, pre-COVID, it would be not unusual to have 40, 50, 60 people at this office meeting. So this room is usually completely packed, standing room only, standing in the hall. So this is a little subdued. So you guys have to bring the energy, right? That's what I'm so sick of just staring at a camera. I get to see beautiful faces, so I'm excited for that. Okay, let's get started. So we recently introduced this. It's called the Weekly One, okay? This is an email that you'll get every single Monday afternoon with everything that's going on in the company. The idea behind this is to slow down the amount of emails that you're getting from us. We know you get a lot and they're important and we have to give you the information, but we also know after a while agents tend to just kind of skip over things or not read them. So this will be coming from Wendy French, who's right over there. Wendy, can you wave to everybody?
Wendy.
She's our marketing specialist. And the cool thing about this email is it has a ton of information, a ton of links directly. So if you forget, oh, where's the meeting or where's the class, you can just go right back to this email and click directly on the link, right? All the information about everything that's going on for the week. Even links to back classes. This is an example. So this is a direct link to Bill Angrove's 1031 class. Lots of news about what's going on in all of our social media channels, just in case you forgot to where you needed to go. So every week, once a week, we're going to give you this. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. At least read this email every week. And then the other important email that you'll get is called File Review. You want to get paid, pay attention to that email as well, right? And Kristen will be talking a little bit more about that later on this morning. Okay, we want you to not pay us any money. Not true. We want to help you reduce the amount of money you pay us so it helps each other, right? So we have this great referral program. If you guys aren't aware of our referral program, refer 3 agents to us and your monthly fee, waive for 6 months. 6 agents, another 6 months, or 3 more. And then 3 more, that monthly fee, waived forever. You never have to pay us that monthly fee again. We have a lot of agents that have done this. So it's like us helping you, you help us. It's important that real estate companies continue to grow, and we're so fortunate that we continue to grow with all your help. So this is our way of saying thank you. So at the end of the class, everybody write down a name of an agent we can call and get on over here, okay? All right, thank you. This level of enthusiasm is not gonna work. I can tell you right now, it's not gonna work. We gotta lift it up a little bit. Okay, so this is something that we started doing, gosh, about 3 or 4 months ago, and it's just called Meet the Team. Every single month, we're gonna introduce a couple new team members, not necessarily new team members. We're gonna introduce you to team members because a lot of you have never seen them, never heard from them. It's been a year, right? So this right here is Damien. He's our new operations assistant. He works out of the Rocklin office. That's what I like. So if you see Damien, make sure you say hi. Here's something, like yesterday in Folsom, like, so his favorite food is brick chicken, and no one knew what brick chicken was. Does everybody know what brick chicken? Yeah, like they have it at Paul Martin's and stuff, so I thought that was good. So his biggest accomplishment was getting married just this past June, so. The next person is Kevin. A lot of you guys know Kevin. Kevin Wilson is our Folsom manager and been with us since that office opened. So favorite movie, Animal House. Is anybody old school? Animal House. That's reaching way back. No. We raised our hand. I thought that was great. I'm like, Animal House, it's been a long time, right? All right. $1 Million Club. Does everybody know what it is?
Yes.
Can someone want to explain it? Good.
You sell $1 million in real estate in 1 month, and then you take us to lunch when the world comes back.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, perfect. A couple more things too. So we recognize you here in our meetings, right? We recognize you on our signage. Every single month we get new signs printed, put them up in every single office. Then we go to lunch. It's been over a year since we've gone to lunch. So this is my promise, and on Zoom too. This is my promise. When we can, we're gonna have the hugest party you could ever possibly imagine for everybody that made this club. So this, yes, anybody who made the $1 million or anybody who sold $1 million in real estate the previous month, we recognize them. We got a lot of people that's doing a lot of business. So we're gonna go through this pretty quick. We're gonna clap, say, hey. All that. So we have Julie, Shane, Gina, Diane. Yeah. Oh, Julie. Kevin. Priya, Mike, and Melissa. This is the longest part of the meeting. We could be here literally like 45 minutes. But we have Brian, Nick, Blake, Chaz, and Jessica. We've got more. Peggy, Mel, Larry, Ashley, Devin, Danielle, Zach, and Shannon. I love Zach's picture. He's always so happy. Did it switch? Oh, Rochelle. Oh, she's here. Oh. Aaron, Stephanie, Heather, Justin, Brett, Tara, and Rich. I know I do this a lot.
Don't do that, don't do that.
I shouldn't. And top producer in sales, Courtney Williams of 9 transactions. And Jamie Rose with over 5 million in sales. And people ask me this all the time. This is not, both of these are team leaders. This is not their team production. This is personal production, not team production. So for those of you that are wondering. Okay, Folsom. Good, okay. Andre, Ryan, Angie, and Jackie. And I apologize, there's like a little delay. So sometimes I don't know if this is, so that's why I feel you guys would probably think I'm neurotic right now. I'm not. I'm just making sure that what I see is the same thing that you see.
We never think that.
Right? Okay, Tammy, Matt, Lori, Linda, Danny, Tanya, Donovan. Again, this is just the Folsom team. Top producer, Mark Spielman in transactions and volume. Do you guys follow Mark Spielman on social media? Do it right now. This guy's the funniest guy. It's great. Some of his posts are crazy and outrageous, but
And wildly inappropriate, but hilarious.
and that's where he gets his clients. His clients absolutely love him on social media. So anyway, That's a little pitch for Mark. Okay, our Sacramento $1 million winners. We have Dennis, Rob, and John. Congratulations, guys. And then we have Inessa, Vitalia, Igor, Michael, and Nicole. I forgot there's a lot in Sacramento. So Jason, Thomas, Luis, Jason, Naomi, Kim, Carrie, and Ron. Jason Walter, if you guys follow, subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's got like over 15,000 followers already on his YouTube channel. He puts out some great stuff. So if you're looking for someone to follow on YouTube, make sure you give Jason a follow. You're welcome, Jason. And then top producer in sales and volume, Audrey Cheney. All right, and for those that were wondering, here's our team production. So the pros group, that's Jamie's team, 19 transactions for 12 million in sales last month. So great job. Brett Freer and his team, 11 transactions. Courtney Williams, her team, 9 transactions. The Arness group, it's Justin Arness, and it's his anniversary. If you're watching, Justin, happy anniversary. Nicole Chuck, Cash and Eklund. So Cash and Eklund are out of this. And we got more. The big team out of Folsom, Homology out of Sacramento, and Seduk. Is it Seduk? I think it's Seduk.
I think so too.
So give them all. We have some really great teams here. People are continuing to add and grow their teams. If you're a team leader, please send us. We want to recognize you. Send us your numbers. That's how we get this information here. So if you're a team leader, you want to be recognized, please send us your numbers. So, okay. I got to take a drink. I feel like I got some sweat going on. All right. Anybody want to talk about the market? Good? Bad? Horrible? Anything? Bueller? That's an old movie reference too. I don't know. Easy to get offers accepted?
No.
Buyers aren't getting, or sellers aren't getting any offers? Has anything changed in the last couple months?
No.
No, it's pretty brutal. I was talking to an agent actually about 3 weeks ago. She said she's working with 10 buyers right now. Good, right? She has a lot of business, but man, that's got to be tough. She says she's working harder than she ever has in her entire career. I mean, I believe her, right? So let's just talk a little bit about the market. So this is my favorite graph. I show it every week or every month. I know I do, but I think it really gives a snapshot of what's going on in the market. And this is a great information, I think, easy information that you can share with your clients. It's important, right, that you share information. You want to be the source of information to your clients. Does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
If you're not, you won't be working anymore, right? Because there's a lot of information people can get right from Google, right? So there's some information that needs to be interpreted. This is your opportunity to show them that they still need you, right? That's important. So the red line, the crazy red line, is pending sales. So I just want you to see where pending sales are right now.
Yeah.
And the dark green bar is closed, right? Look at the gap right here between pending and closed. So what do you think we're going to see next month? Closed sales like through the roof, right? Because you can see typically pending sales and closed sales typically kind of track together. The market is so crazy right now. There's a massive amount of pending sales. Does anybody want to guess what this little huge dip right here is?
The Rona.
The Rona. That's a year ago. You see what happened? Boom. And then you see the market just kind of take off since then. So record territory, right? Record pending sales, record solds, and one glitch though. What do you think could cause a problem in our market right now?
Interest rates.
Low inventory.
Interest rates, what else?
Low inventory.
Low inventory. That's kind of my biggest, I'm more concerned about low inventory than interest rates, right? I know they spiked up a little bit, they came down a little bit, maybe movement, we'll talk about that later today, but it's just low inventory. We're gonna get to the point where there's just nothing there, right? It's still this demand. Home builders are way behind, because usually it used to be, I remember when our inventory got low, it'd be like, okay, take your buyer to the new home sales, right? they're just as bad as we are, right? So that's my fear, is that we're just going to kind of be stuck with this no inventory. Here's something interesting. NAR did a survey. They said 41% of agents know somebody that's waiting to list their home when this whole COVID thing is over, right? So if you're one of those people that knows somebody that's kind of thinking about it, share this information. Is it a good time if you're a seller to sell your home? Is it going to be a good time in 6 months? That's right, we don't know. So you have that conversation with that person that's kind of on the fence. That's what you tell them. Like, we don't know what the future's going to hold, but there's not a better time. There hasn't been a better time in, I don't even know, 15, 20 years. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think one of the biggest fears of people putting their house on the market is they're afraid they're not gonna be able to get into their next home.
True.
So they're just not.
Right. No, and that's a big fear, especially if you're going to stay in California.
Yeah.
Right. And other markets are experiencing the same thing. Here's the good news, right? Our market is still a bargain relative to the Bay Area, relative to Orange County, Southern California. So for the people that are staying in California, our market's still great, even though it's like, I still look at prices and I'm like, really? But to other people from other areas, like, oh, that's a great deal. So Sacramento continues to be the hottest market in the country. So you guys are fortunate. It's a double-edged sword, right? Like, fortunate, we're all working, but hard to get listings, hard to get buyers in the contract, right? Dollars per square foot in just over a year, over $60 a square foot rise in prices. Almost 50. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's $100,000 on a 200 or 2,000 square foot house, right? $100,000 increase in a little over a year. It's been steady. It's been a steady rise. The more the inventory shrinks, what's going to happen? It's going to continue to push those prices up. Anybody worried about the foreclosure market coming? Anybody? Anybody talking about it? Do you want to hear my opinion on it, or do you care? Should we move on? No? Here's my opinion on it. So who was working during 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2003, 4, 5, 6? So Kevin, Kristen, a couple of people, Georgette, a couple of people were here, right? Here's the big difference. Then people were buying homes with first, second, thirds, right? Zero money down and stated income. Today, people are buying homes with 400,000 down, 500,000 down, 600,000 down. And the equity that they've seen in just the past year, the market could go down 40% and they still have equity. Where before, the big crash before, the market goes down 2% and people are in trouble from an equity standpoint, right? So that's what I think is a big difference between then and now, an entirely different scenario. Because 3, 4, and 5, if you were in the business then, kind of felt like right now. It was a hot, hot, hot market, right? Okay. Any questions?
Can I just add to that, the other thing?
No.
You're great.
Yes, you can.
We're going to anyway, is the adjustable rates. Is in addition to what you just said, their payments went up. And as soon as their payments went up, yikes.
Payments went up, equity went down, and yeah, they had no skin in the game, so people were like, I'm out.
But
Yeah.
don't you also agree that if people were to foreclose, they just would sell their house right now in this market?
Correct.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna get flooded with.
So if they were behind on their payments,
Right.
it would
They
never go to
just sell
foreclosure,
it,
they just sell
take their
it.
equity, yeah, pay it
Yeah,
off.
exactly. Yeah.
And we could use the image for it.
Right. This right here just shows the amount of inventory we have on the market. So this 0.5 means 2 weeks of inventory. What that means is if no properties were to come on the market from today forward in 2 weeks, we'd have zero properties on the market. That's tight, right? Some of the lowest inventory we've ever seen in this market, even back when it was crazy before, we had much more inventory than we do now. And you can see it's kind of this downward trend. Doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon, right? There's still more buyers than we have sellers. And this right here, I think, shows it really, really well. See this green line right here? Back here a year ago, it says 97. And then today it says 102. What that means is homes are selling for 102% of sale price. So that means almost every single home is going above asking price. Where just a year ago, it was lower. We very rarely see it hit 100, never mind 102%. right? And this is average days on the market. So we're down to some of the lowest average days on the market in a year. Homes are selling. By the way, the stats I'm showing you from Sacramento Placer, Yolo, and El Dorado County. So kind of our whole market. So these numbers are going to fluctuate, might fluctuate between Placer and El Dorado, might fluctuate between Granite Bay and Antelope, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're sharing information with your client, set expectations based on where their house is and what the price range is, because this might vary greatly. I got a complaint call from a seller, one of our listings. She had multiple offers, 20,000 over asking. She was mad because her neighbor got 35 offers. How many offers does it take to sell a home? So are you setting those appropriate expectations with your clients? Because if you go into that listing appointment going, oh, this house got 30 offers and 40 offers, and this house got 100,000 over asking, guess what the expectations that you're setting with your clients? So yes, it's a great market, and all those stories are absolutely 100% true, but you got to set appropriate expectations. I just love it. Look, we only need one offer. That's all we need, right? And for those people that take listings, I don't want 30 offers. That's a nightmare to get through. That's a lot of work and a lot of stress and a lot of trouble, because then you have 30 agents calling you and 30 lenders calling you, and you're so crazy. So share information, but keep expectations appropriate, or set appropriate expectations. Any questions on the market? Comments on the market? You guys are not doing the whole energy thing that I want to see here. Okay, I'm almost done. So for those of you that don't or have never been in a meeting, I'm like a wind-up thing. You wind me up, I'll go. But luckily, my part's coming to an end. Lots of questions about this. Can we do open houses?
Yes.
You can do COVID-compliant home tours. Let's just leave it at that. The rules that have been in place for really about the past 8 or 9 months in regards to showings and open houses has not changed. So a lot of people are like, hey, things are opening up. We're in different county tiers. Are things different? No, they're not different. I don't anticipate them changing for the rest of the year, right? Why would they? Have we done a really good job of adapting to all the craziness as an industry? Have we done it? Yeah. Right? And so why would all of a sudden they just go back and say, hey, you guys have done a great job. We're just going to pull all the regulations off of you. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know. I don't have any inside information. But just keep doing what you've been doing. I mean, for those of you that remember March and April, remember the rules changed, like in the morning it would be one set of rules, yes. By afternoon it would be another set, by the next day it's another set of rules. So now that we've kind of settled in, the industry is doing very, very, very well. I don't anticipate changes. Kevin, did you have a comment on that?
Yeah, at CAR next week, that's a huge topic of discussion, and it's probably going to come up to where we loosen up a bit. But
oh, okay, that's good to know. Yeah.
In the beginning, Metrolist wouldn't let us put
open houses,
and now they seem to be.
Yeah.
I got the take it off, or we're going to find you call, and now we're not getting
right, it. right. Well, if you remember, we started right out of the gate. We said, okay, we just won't. I was on a call with Carr, and so I had this big whole argument. They were saying no open houses, and so I called. I said, what? Can we do home tours? They're like, so we went through the whole thing, and it was like, okay, if we follow the rules, we can do it, and we've done it, right? We've done it successfully. So
I think you coined the phrase, and now everybody uses it.
Yeah, that was early on. That was like in March.
I know.
So just keep following the rules as is. If things change, guess how you'll be notified?
We'll let you know.
Let's say it again.
The once a week email.
So that's how you'll know. Okay. Inspection waivers. Are buyers doing this today? Is this a good thing?
No.
This is a very dangerous precedent. And I'm just going to encourage you, if your buyer goes, I heard everybody's waiving contingencies, I want to waive everything, to have a good conversation with them about the pitfalls of waiving this. Yeah. You can work with your favorite lender and probably not have to worry about loan. If you do a good job, your lender does a good job and pre-approves them, so you can, okay, we can waive the loan. If they have enough money or enough resources, or if you take the class today from Movement about low appraisal insurance, you might be able to waive the appraisal. But this one right here is critical. Guess what we're seeing happening right now? Buyers are closing on their home, and then within 2 weeks, the demand letters start coming. The plumbing doesn't work, the HVAC has a problem, the dog peed on the carpet, blah, 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 blah. So they're using this as a way to, what's another word for extort money? So they're using this, and we're seeing a massive spike in demand letters. A demand letter is when you get the certified mail from an attorney that says, I represent my client, and this is what happened to my house. So one of our Sacramento agents, she had a great idea. This is what she does. Typically, you'll see, like, we're going to be accepting offers on Wednesday, let's just say, right? So on Monday, she submits the offer. She calls her home inspector and schedules it for Friday before her offer is even accepted. And then she tells the listing agent, I already have I know I'm not waiving inspections, but my inspection's already scheduled for Friday. So we have a 5-day inspection period, and we're going to make that deadline. I thought that was a good idea, right?
Yeah.
Good idea.
But even if you waive your investigation contingency, you can still do a home inspection, so your buyer knows what they're buying.
True, but you can't use it to get out of the contract.
Yeah, but at least they knew the plumbing wasn't.
100%, in theory.
Yes.
It doesn't prevent
I know.
it doesn't prevent the demand letters. And here's another increase. We're going to talk about it in like 2 slides, but EMD disputes. I did 5 of them last week. That's when buyer and seller, there's a cancellation of contract and someone doesn't want to release the money. And buyer, you know what buyers are saying? My agent didn't tell me that if I waived all my contingencies, I couldn't get my earnest money. Whether that's true or not, that's what they're saying. Agents going, we had that conversation. It was right in front of the driveway. All right, make sure you document those kind of conversations, right? Because we're seeing a big increase. Is this happening right now? Double ending deals. We're seeing a lot of them. Why do you think that is?
Put your buyers in your listing.
Say it again.
Put your buyer into your listing and be able to get them a house.
Yeah, buyers are going, I'm not going to even work with an agent. I'm just going to call the listing agent directly, right? Because that'll give me my opportunity to probably get my offer accepted. I heard this yesterday. I don't know if this is true. I haven't verified. Do you remember that house? It was on the news. It got like 122 offers. Someone told me that agent double-ended that.
Oh.
He wrote in his little post that he wrote like 3 of the offers.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's, whatever. I'm just saying, to me, that's very, very dangerous. This rate in and of itself has always been a little tricky when you're a dual agent. It's always been tricky because you have that fiduciary duty, the same to both buyer and seller, right? So you represent buyer and seller and you're a day late on your inspections. Did you give a notice to perform to your buyer? If you didn't, you're not doing your fiduciary duty, right? So you see how you have to kind of go like this the whole time, and how you could, even the best of agent goes, oh, I know we're going to get that. I know we're going to get the inspection done the next day. I don't want to give the notice to perform because I'm going to, do you see that? And every bit of the transaction can go like that. We are legally allowed to do dual agency. So I'm not going to tell you not to do it. But man, you better do a great job of documenting everything and make sure that that same fiduciary duty is being both sides, right? Going back to the EMD dispute, we had a $125,000 EMD dispute. Buyer waived all contingencies, then wanted to cancel. That gets attorneys involved. It's not like, oh, $2,000. You go, I mean, $2,000, whatever. That's a lot of money involved, right? So be careful in these scenarios. This is not any agent here, by the way. None of our agents are this. Has anybody ever heard the term commission breath? Like you can, from a mile away, you're like, okay, I know what's going on. That is one of ours. So listen, here's what we're seeing right now. DRE complaints, ethics complaints, board complaints, EMD disputes, demand letters, lawsuits. It's not because agents are sloppy. It's because this market's moving at lightning speed, right?
Well, some agents are slow.
Not ours.
Not ours, the other side.
So what I'm suggesting is take a breath, take a step back, and make sure you're doing everything you did before this market was crazy. That's all you have to do. The number one thing I can recommend is just document conversations. It's so easy to document a phone call. After you have got the phone, just send them an email. Hey, just wanted to, yeah, you're right. I think I'll do this for you and I'll do this and it'll be done by Monday afternoon. Easy, right? Because a year from now, it's going to be hard to remember that. Your buyer's going to go, or seller might go, you said this, and you're like, I mean, I don't think I said that. And they're going to go, you did. And there's going to be no documentation. So that's a piece of advice. Not to get you scared, not to get you anything, but you need to be aware of what's happening in this crazy market. This is kind of the dark side of what's going on in this market right now. Any questions on any of that stuff? You guys.
No, right?
Easy. Okay. I'm done. Earlier, for those of you that are here, this is Bonnie Burlock. She's our training coordinator, so she's got some good stuff for you. Take it away.
Yeah.
Space bar only.
Space bar only, got it. Maybe. Hello.
Hi.
We're back in office. Is that so exciting?
No.
Yes.
Are you all 6 feet apart? Yesterday, the manager had a measuring tape and was measuring everybody.
No.
He was kidding, he was kidding.
Oh, yeah, well, joking around, but it was funny. But it's exciting to be all back together, and I'm happy to see all your faces. I'm happy to see everybody here. So fun. So let me tell you a little bit about what we've got going on. One day. So we are going to be all coming together as one on one day. So oh man. Anyway, one day. So mark your calendars. On Thursday, April 29th, don't plan anything. Mark your day off. Well, the middle of the day anyway. Mark your day off. Don't do any inspections. Don't do any showings. We are all coming together as one to do something for our community. We're all giving back to our community. We've had an incredible year. Many of us have prospered. Many of us have done well. And there's some people out there who haven't done so well. We're going to come back. We're going to come back and get together and make an impact on our community. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay, so mark your calendar. One day, it's only one day out of 365. We're going to meet here at the office. Christina and I are putting together something amazing that's going to make a giant impact.
So read that email too. When that comes out.
Yeah, oh yeah, when that comes out, definitely read that. Probably will come from Wendy, so. Hi, Wendy. Wendy's amazing. So that is one day. Our Rev graduates. So we've had 4 graduates this month, last month. I'm not going to get that straight. It'll take me 6 times to get that straight. Last month, we had 4 graduates. So very exciting. And some of our graduates took just a couple of months to graduate, and some took, a couple of years. And that's the beauty about this program. You can go as long as it takes you to get through it. We're here for your success. If you want to go lightning speed like Chaz, you can. Or if you want to take your time and do it, we're here for your success. So I'm super excited for these graduates. And now they're off to, they don't have a split anymore. And now they're at 100% commission, and it's super exciting for them. Yay! So thank you. Yeah. So Rev Up last month closed nearly $11.4 million. And that's in Rev Up alone. And let me tell you a little bit about those numbers. So that's 28 agents in the Rev Up program. That's what they closed. And 9 of those agents had their very first closing in real estate.
That's cool.
Isn't that awesome? Of course, we saw the 4 that graduated. So it's super exciting that Rev Up is doing so great. So we have upcoming classes. 2 of these already happened. If you didn't get to go, they'll come again. It's okay. One class that we're going to have today, one class, we'll be doing the listing agreement. And some people don't realize there's an extra portion to the listing agreement for COVID. We'll be going over that today at 3 o'clock. Everybody's welcome, Rev Up, and anybody who just wants to do a refresher. Welcome to come, RSVP to come in class, or if you want to do on Zoom, we're there too. So now our team here, we have Julie Wright and Laurel House. If you've been in the business for any amount of time, you all know these ladies. They're amazing. And Julie is with Fidelity National Home Warranty, and Laurel's with Disclosure Source. They've kind of combined forces to assist you better in the two amazing products, two great reps in protecting your client's interests. And Laurel just gave a great class on NHG red flags. So if you haven't seen that class or weren't a part of it, go to Help Juice. It's in there. It was a really great class. We all need to be reading the NHD. So this showed how you can spot some red flags and what you can do about it. So check them out. Now I'm super excited. I'm so pumped, you guys. I'm so excited. What do you need to know with our amazing Kristen?
Okay, guys, good morning. It's so fun to be here. I have some really good stuff for you. Some reminders. Some of you are new-ish to us or new to the industry. So some of you, you might just be able to ignore me, and some of you will want to take notes. What we're seeing right here, some other issues with what's going on in the market. So we have buyers wanting to pay a gap between what the appraised price is and what the purchase price is. So this is what CAR came out with. They came out with a quick guide last month, and they probably came out with this because they got a lot of phone calls. They were getting phone calls. Well, I said the buyer's going to pay $10,000 appraised value. It came in $50,000 less. The seller agreed. Well, did they?
No.
Did they agree? Maybe, maybe not. So this was their example. So this is CAR's examples. They're a little bit legalese. But so this is saying nobody really knows. So does the buyer have the right to purchase the property at $10,000 above appraised value if the appraised value came in $50,000 below sales price? I don't know. That's what they said. I don't know. What was their intention? We don't know. Was it the seller's intention to agree to do that? Probably not. So you have to make it very, very clear. So Craig and I kind of went over this a few times and trying to make it very, very clear. We need a minimum and a maximum. What is the seller going to do? Is the seller going to agree if the appraised price comes in low? Is the seller going to agree to reduce the price at all? If not, state that. Say, seller, if appraisal comes in low, buyer is going to bridge the gap. If they don't have enough, seller's not going to reduce the purchase price. So that means the buyer's going to have to cancel and get out. But what do you want to do when you're 17 days into the contract? Do you really want to do that? Maybe you have a conversation with your seller and say, hey, it might come in low. Do you think you might be open to reducing the purchase price at all? Maybe not. They're seeing out there, they're getting kind of greedy. Like Greg said, I only got 2 offers over, with 30,000 over. Well, come on, right? Come on. And I mean, I think it was a hoarding situation. So come on, right? So we need to have a minimum and a maximum, and or seller's not going to reduce purchase price, period. So just make sure that you're having that conversation. All parties are understanding, what is the intent. Let's put it in writing and we can avoid any of these issues. Then we come to, the EMD disputes where they're waiving everything. And another example that we had is they waived all their contingencies, but didn't put their EMD in. The seller still owed that money. So the seller's going to sue the buyer for their EMD because they said it goes right to the seller. So let's avoid all of that and put everything in writing. I wanted to go over our file review process. So for those of you that use our internal in-house TCs, you can just ignore me. Don't even listen, just go to sleep for 5 minutes. For those of you that don't, who use outside TCs or process your own files, I want to go over our internal process so you know what to expect. So once you initiate your file in SkySlope within 3 days per DRE regulations, not us, we go in there and we enter tasks on the backside. So we can see where it is in the process. And this is just assuming a 30-day escrow. So if you have something outside of that, just go with me here, okay? 30-day escrow. On day 5, we're going to review it. Day 20, day 25, and then when we get the closing documents. So you know that at each of these dates, we're gonna click, there's a button in SkySlope on our site that says update agent. You're gonna get an email that's just of what the checklist has on there, what's missing, what's wrong. That gives you time to get everything corrected or get items that you still need. What's happening is we are crazy. It's a crazy market. You guys are busy, but it's still not okay to initiate a file the day before closing and upload everything. Still not okay to do that, even though we are all busy. So we want to make sure that you're getting documents uploaded as soon as they're signed. You know, get into that habit if you're processing your own files. And then we have time to walk you through if there's any issues. We can catch something. We've caught things, you know, about monies being passed outside of escrow, which is not okay.
Trust issues.
Trust issues. Somebody thought that they had authority to sign and they didn't. So we got all the way to closing day and this person didn't have authority to sign. Somebody else signed the closing docs. And so because the file wasn't uploaded in a timely manner, we didn't catch it. And so, you know, that agent has to go see the principal. And come on, guys. Give me anything, something, anything. Come on, Greg, help us out. So you don't want, like, if you have to go see the principal more than a couple times, you know, you might either have to use an in-house TC or we might not be a good fit for you, but we don't want that to happen. So then on receiving your check. So escrow is really busy too. And sometimes it's taking escrow a day or two to finish the disbursement and get the money sent. So it might take 2 days for them to get it to us. Our time clock for the final audit happens when we get that check in our office, not when it records. So, you know, I feel like there's this agent that would come in and go, hey, my just recorded. Can I get my check? And Julie's like, well, when did it record? And she's
11 minutes ago.
Yeah, she's already out, and she's like, oh my gosh, and it's not closed out. We don't even have a broker closing packet. There's no checks. I'm like, hold on, guys, you know. So that's why. So we have 48 hours from the time we receive that check to do the final audit. That doesn't happen for in-house TCE. As long as you've done your job, you'll get your check the same day. But we need 48 hours to do our final audit, let you know. You'll get an email. You will get an email if, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. You'll get an email, either your check is released and you can pick it up at the office or we can mail it to you, or you have some items to complete, and please do so. You know, within a few days, hopefully. And any questions on that process?
No.
Clear as a bell, right?
Mhm.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I've updated this slide. So take a picture of this one, or you can grab it after. But I've updated it with the manager cell phone numbers. I never want our agents to feel like there's not somebody to go to for an answer. You might email me, you might email Greg, you might email, you know, one of our other managers. We could be in meetings, we could be out, and then you're sitting at home feeling frustrated that we're not supporting you. Well, there should never be a reason why you can't get an answer within a few hours of needing something if it's an emergency. So make sure you have these numbers, you know, have them on speed dial, do a group text, I don't care. But there's always somebody to help answer your questions. And in this market, you need to know, well, what should I do? How should I write the verbiage? You want to protect yourself. We want to protect us and you. So always make sure that you know that there's somebody here to support you. We also want to make sure if there's any demand for issues after closing, those go straight to Greg. We have, we have to notify our E&O insurance as soon as we're aware. And they think that as soon as you're aware that we're aware. So they could deny a claim just because you knew and didn't tell us. So we don't want that to happen, because then you're on the hook for whatever comes, out of that legal issue. Other things is referrals. All referrals go to the referrals email, and commission demands. So please make a note of that and let me know how I can help you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Movement mortgage.
Oh, after you, yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay, gotcha. Man, it was weird being like,
I
I'm so used to the
know.
Zoom thing, and when I say my bad jokes in Zoom and nobody's like reacts.
Well, that's actually how it is here anyway.
Well, yeah.
You're not funny.
First meeting made. Come on now.
So Mark Fulton, Movement Mortgage,
Randy Carter,
and
and this is our team. Smiling faces of the gang throughout the area. We have Chris and Antonio in Sacramento. Allison Hoffman is in Folsom. And Mark and Becky and I are rotating here. And of course, Keith's our fearless leader overseeing the whole thing. So we're excited. We're available for you. Reach out to us.
yes, absolutely. Okay, monthly agent playbook. Anybody signed up for these?
I'm getting them.
Couple people?
Yeah, from-
Okay, so Movement has like an entire marketing division dedicated to you guys as agents. And so once a month, we come out with we call it an agent playbook, and it's got tons of stuff, social media, Popeye ideas, things that are going on in the market, scripts.
Yep.
This is free to you guys. So after the meeting, if you want to give us information, we can mail it to your house. We can put it in your box, whatever's convenient for you.
So wait, are all of them the same? It's just who's
Yes,
picture do you
exactly. So
want?
like this is
So make sure
Becky's.
Becky's the prettiest, so.
I mean, I would agree with that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so whatever loan officer you work with, they would let us know. It's branded, that all the information is exactly the same. So let us know on those. Process.
Very good. 671 process. This is the reason I moved to Movement Mortgage 3 years ago, because we do things differently than every other bank I've worked with in the last 30 years. And that is that we submit files directly to the underwriter. We get the documentation from the client, what's needed for that loan, and submit it directly to an underwriter. And within 6 hours, on average, we have an underwriting decision. And we have a hit list of what we need to go after. And then it's assigned to a processor who has 7 days to review those conditions, collect them from the borrower, get those cleared, and then we table fund. Now, this is like an East Coast thing. I mean, we send the wire, the loan documents, everything. We can complete that transaction on the day of closing with funds and everything. So amazing process. If you'll notice, if you're an expert in the new TRID laws, that's actually faster than is legally possible with all the 3-day different disclosures. But we can be ready to close quickly. And it's one of the reasons we talk about rescue loans every month. If you have a transaction that's going sideways, the borrower is qualified, but the bank doesn't appear to be qualified to get that closed.
I get you to move over a little bit.
Yes, yes. Please call us, reach out to your favorite Movement loan officer, and we can jump into that file again with a qualified buyer and get that thing closed in 10 days. We can do it.
Amazing.
Yeah,
You guys are
it's
awesome.
amazing. Yeah, so reach out to us.
And all of this right here, so for your buyers out there, this potentially is like a 14 to 15 day close of offer when you submit it, which is, I just think that's almost a norm now. If you're submitting 30 days with all the contingencies, it's just good luck, right? So keep that in mind. So low appraisal insurance. So we're going to just touch on this briefly because we are doing a lunch and learn 11 o'clock. So we'd love to have as many of you as possible. But I'm assuming that when you guys are out there in the trenches, you're hearing about appraisals, right? Like appraisals coming in low, and that's a thing. Can we remove the appraisal contingency? Or what I'm hearing a lot is, well, hey, the buyer, they don't want to put in another 10,000 or 20,000 or 30,000, whatever. They don't necessarily have to do that. And so I think there's a big misconception that if the appraisal comes in $10,000 low, that the buyer always has to put $10,000 more in the pot. And that's not true in most cases. Some cases, yes, it is true, but in a lot of cases, it's not true. So this is one of the slides we showed in the lunch and learn, and I'll just kind of touch on this briefly here. But what this is it's a $500,000 purchase price, okay? And they want to put 10% down. So it's a $50,000 down payment. So anyone want to take a stab at what their loan to value would be? 90%, right? So they're borrowing $450,000 and we're gonna assume the home is gonna appraise for 500, right? So the loan to value is 90%. So it's a 10% down payment, okay? But the buyer, let's say the agent, the buyer, they say, you know what, we don't think it's gonna appraise. We're kind of worried that it might appraise for maybe even as low as $470,000. Okay, so they don't, but the buyer doesn't want to put an additional 10,000 or 20,000 or 30,000. So this is an example of, let's say the home appraised for 490,000. Okay, the loan amount is going to stay the same. The loan to value is going to go up slightly from 90%. And all that's going to do is just going to trigger just a slight increase in the interest rate. Okay, their payment goes up, I think, $31 a month. So for a lot of buyers, that's a much better alternative than putting $10,000 into the pot. Okay.
The cash to close.
Cash to close stayed the same, went up $600, right? So 20,000 low. Everything is exactly the same. Interest rate's the same as it was down here. Now at $40,000, or sorry, 30,000 below appraised value, the difference is they did have to reduce the loan amount slightly because we can't, in this case, we couldn't go above a 95% loan to value because let's say they're not first time home buyers and need to meet that 5% equity position. But there's an example of this didn't increase to $75,000 and $85,000 and $95,000. And I think that we need to educate buyers that there's times that we can actually remove the appraisal contingency because we're not really that concerned if it doesn't appraise. It's just buyers need to understand technically you might be slightly overpaying for a house because the appraisals are lagging. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to dive into this more in the lunch and learn and we'll answer questions and things like that. But this is just kind of a little snippet of the lunch and learn.
And even if you're a listing agent, think about that now. You're concerned, can your buyer come up with the extra cash? And you have a deal going sideways about that. Reach out to us. We can rescue that transaction and show the buyer how to come in with similar cash to close and similar payments.
Awesome.
Yep. Want to talk just a little bit about our mission statement. Another cool thing about Movement Mortgage is we're still owned by one guy who's incredibly generous and chose to turn the mortgage lending industry on its head by changing the way we do business. And he really focuses on people and process. And one of the core values is that we love and value people. If we put that first, the rest of the things really kind of fall into place. So we give, I say we, Movement Mortgage gives millions and millions of dollars to charity throughout the year. And they do a really cool thing for us as employees. When we give to a charity, any approved charity, Movement Mortgage will match us dollar for dollar. So double our charitable contribution, which is really, really cool. So we thought, why not bring you guys in on that? You have charities that you work with in the community, and we don't know about all the greatest charities. What if you went to that charity and said, hey, I'd like to be your preferred real estate agent? And anyone that you are able to refer to me from your organization, we will make a charitable contribution to the charity. The loan officer will make a donation, and we're thinking $200, right? I mean, we'll contribute $200, you contribute $200, and Movement Mortgage will contribute $200, and so we can send a big fat check to that charity in your name. So we thought it was a fun thing, a great idea, a great way to get Movement to write some more checks, and another opportunity for you to expand your influence with those charities.
We would actually use this check to dry erase. So put it out to charity, make a big social media event with you guys. You can put it out there. And I think it's kind of a win-win for everybody, for your charity, the community, for us, for your client, everybody. So our foundation has like millions of dollars in it and it's just inflating. And so we need to use that because Movement's based in North Carolina. They don't know like all the Placer County charities, right? That kind of thing. So the only thing they ask is that we have to give information like, hey, here's the charity we want to do. They want to vet it out and make sure it's a good charity and people aren't siphoning the money off and things like that, right? But other than that, I think we need to put it to use and get out there for sure. Any questions?
No.
Okay.
Good.
Hopefully we'll see you guys at the lunch and learn.
We did it. We made it.
Yes.
Are we on time? We're on time. Yes. Thanks for coming. It was great to have our first Rocklin Live meeting. Hopefully this will just be the beginning of many, many more, and hopefully it'll be sooner than later that everybody will be back in here. So thank you. Anybody have any comments or questions before we wrap it up? That's it, guys. Thank you so much.